ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ted Danson. Welcome.
I just saw the baby carriage, so I am now going to be so proper with my language.
Look at you. You are a staggeringly good-looking man.
Hey, you're on the same payroll as I am, so don't believe anything he's saying.
No.
This is all fluff.
You have been on the cover of GQ magazine 3 times, haven't you?
Have I?
Yeah.
I guess I am kind of hot stuff, aren't I?
Speaking of hot stuff, The Good Place.
What? Yeah, I'm really proud to be part of that show.
That's a great show.
You know, it's about something. It's about being decent, what a decent life looks like, and that there are consequences to your actions, and sprinkled in with a little 9-year-old fart humor and some visual magic. Who can resist that?
But it's bittersweet news, because after the 4th season, they're wrapping.
Yeah, I know, it's very strange. Because it wasn't, usually the network calls and says you're all fired. And this was the creator of the show, Mike Schur, who realized that he will have told the story that he wanted to tell, and he didn't want to pad it and have those episodes where we're all caught in a snowstorm and we reminisce, kind of episodes that are, pure padding. And he wanted to tell a story the way he wanted to tell it, realized that the end of the season would be it, and
So I sense a letter writing campaign. Everyone get on the email writing, letter writing. Let's see if we can, keep this going. Because you did win Best Actor in a Comedy Series, Critics' Choice Award. Yeah. That's not bad. But I had a quick look on IMDb, and I did a quick tally, and forgive me if I'm off by 1 or 2, but you have either been nominated or won 49 different awards between Emmys, SAG Awards, People's Choice, Critics' Choice.
And now I have to get on a plane, fly home to my wife, who's going to go, where have you been? Where have you been, and why do you think you're hot stuff? Because you're not. Yes, I did. I've been nominated a lot. It's true. I know how to graciously lose. Oh, I'm so glad, that he won.
No, it's an honor being nominated, they say.
Yeah.
So, and
that's what we say.
Where are you going to put all these things?
Yeah.
Where are you going to put all these? You don't need them anyway, so you've won enough. So
awards don't matter right up until they call out the names, and then they somehow desperately matter.
Well, recently in TV Guide, there's a writer.
I mean, you all have award shows for your professions, right? I mean, no? Well, that's weird.
I think better than an award show. There's a writer in TV Guide, Liam Matthews, who recently and I quote this, said that you are arguably, I wrote it down, the greatest sitcom actor of all time. That's better than any award.
We better open this up to questions from out there, because, can we do that? Can we just shout? I mean, who
we
cares?
can take a few questions, sure.
Come on.
Sure. I don't think we have a mic on the floor. This gentleman over here in the green.
If I had to compare The Good Place and Cheers, do you have A, a preference, B, can you give me one example from both of your best memory or experience, please?
Okay. I'm a little bit of a Pollyanna. I love whatever I'm doing at the moment. I truly love going to work and just working. Cheers was brilliant because it was funny and all of that stuff, but I was 32 in a bar surrounded by idiots and actresses paid to say I was sexy. So what's not to like? I think in the middle of a rehearsal where we had audiences, because at the end people would come just watch us rehearse, Woody had been wearing sweatpants all day and kind of clearly no underwear, and we were all going, Woody, come on, man. And at one point in the blocking of the show, he leapt up on a table and made this big announcement, Woody the character did. And I was He was here and I was here, and it's like, oh, I just got it.
No.
Yes, so he did pay me back. Can I tell you how he paid me back? He made a movie called Doc Hollywood, I think. It was his first film. And he came up, he plays a hick, and they all end up at the end coming to Hollywood, to the big city. And they're all sitting around in the end scene talking in this drugstore. And the week before, Woody had come up to me and said, will you please come to my premiere? Please. I just respect you so much. And he just went on and on. I went, yes, of course, Woody. And then I got there and he said, I saved you a seat behind me. It's the best seat. Please, I love you, buddy. Thank you so much for being here. And at the end of the movie, the characters are talking because they're looking, they're just new to Hollywood looking for actors and things. And then somebody says, oh, there's a movie star. And then the other character goes, no, that's Ted Danson. And the entire audience did that, and I had to go, good one. Memories. Good Place. Good Place, we're working so hard to get the words right. It's such a kind of elevated style. I don't have any funny stories. We're all just trying to be as good as the material, and we're just kind of working our butt out.
Well, it's paying off. It's a great show. Absolutely great show. Do we have something on this side, sir?
Yes, I just want to say there's only a few shows that my wife, my 20-year-old son, and us have all watched together. Good Places one from the beginning, so
thank you. I'm really glad you watched. Thanks.
And also, I just want to ask, your character has taken like a changing character from obviously the first season to now. Like, what did you like better playing, like as a villain, a bad guy, or being good?
Well, it's always fun. I mean, it's hard in the beginning because I was playing this kind of Willy Wonka, bizarre character that no one understood. It was a secret. And that's hard to be funny in, because usually you get to be funny when you and the audience know something that the other character doesn't, and that's where the humor comes around. So the second season was much more fun to see kind of gleeful Michael doing bad things, and so yeah, it's more fun to be bad. I mean, come on, it's easier too.
So I'm selfishly
Let's not get into politics. Wait,
we won't
sorry,
get into
what?
politics. I said I'm selfishly going to ask a question because I love all your work, but I am crazy about Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah. Me too. Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Tell me about that, because how did that come about? And I read that it's loosely scripted. He lets you.
Yeah. So Larry David, right? Curb Your Enthusiasm. It's all improvised. It's his brainchild, but he works for 4 months. Like any other comedy, you sit in a room with writers and you say, this is what the season should be like, and then you break it down into episodes, and then each episode will be this, and then each scene will be this. So, they fill blackboards with plans. And then usually at the very last minute, when an episode has been beat by beat blocked out and talked about, then they'll hand it to one of the writers and say, go write the dialogue. Well, he takes it right up to that part, go write the dialogue, and stops, so that you show up on the set and say, okay, you're both at a fundraiser and you've given money anonymously, and but you want everyone to know. Go. And then you just improvise, and most improvisation is horrible, and so you do it again and it gets a little better, and by about the fourth take you've improvised a fairly good script, and yeah.
And your wife stars in that with you as well?
Yeah, my wife. I'm married to Mary Steenburgen. I don't know. Yes. All the really smart people applauded.
And in the show,
brilliant.
you split up, and people actually thought you split up.
The bastard. I know. I showed up at work and went, oh, you're divorced. Wait, what? And for some reason, it really irritated me. I mean, I was really irritated by it. I was like, because the most precious thing in my life is my relationship, and I've been married 3 times, so I was a slow learner, but for the last 26 years we've been together. So when somebody said, oh, you're divorced, and we're playing ourselves, even though we're not really, and we're actors, and it's all make-believe, but it still was like, it hurt. I was embarrassed to call Mary and say, we're divorced. I'm seeing somebody else, you know. But we had friends after that episode aired who we'd seen 2 months before call, oh no. Yeah, right. We're going to announce our divorce on Larry David Show.
That's amazing. I love it. I love it. We have someone else we can... Sir.
Yeah, actually, speaking of Curb, so how exaggerated is Curb Larry David from real life?
Well, you know, he's a little bit that, but with a heart of gold. My wife Mary once said to him, if I were ever in real trouble, if Mary said about herself, if I were ever in real trouble, you'd be one of the first people I'd ever call. And you can see tears in his eyes. He is a loyal friend, a caring, neurotic, crazy, Larry David-like person. The only problem with the success of the show, as far as I'm concerned, it's given him license to be more Larry. You know, we literally, you'll make a dinner reservation with him, a couple of buddies, and the three of us will show up, and Larry, that made it, he said, Larry's here already, and we go. And he's halfway through his entree because he's decided he has something else he'd rather do. Without any apology or anything, it's just he goes through life. He doesn't go to people's homes for dinner because it's harder to leave when he wants to in the middle of a meal. That's Larry.
So pretty much the same character.
Yeah, same character, but with a heart of gold.
I do want to get serious for a minute because something near and dear to your heart, and you've actually written a book on it, is Oceana, or Endangered Oceans.
Right.
And you're the organization you founded, co-founded, and work with in saving our oceans. Please tell us about that.
Big subject, a little weird that the guy who played Sam Malone is talking about oceans, but as it turns out about, mid-80s, I and an environmental lawyer in Santa Monica, California, he was running a business trying to stop Occidental Petroleum from digging 60 oil wells right along the Santa Monica beach. And we came up with a way to stop them, and we did, but we enjoyed our conversation and we cared about the environment, and he was incredibly bright. And we started kind of naively this organization called American Oceans Campaign, and it was dealing with offshore oil and coastal pollution and the impact it was having on our fisheries. And we hired lobbyists and scientists, and it became very respected, but it was a very small boutique kind of organization. My manager, Keith Addis, over there in the corner pretending like I'm not talking about him, was part of this group from the very beginning too. And then it merged about 15 years ago into Oceana, which was a brand new international organization started by foundations all over the world. And I really, really encourage you, Oceana, ocean with an A, oceana.org. Go online. It is brilliant organization. It's all over the world now. And basically what we've done is focused on fisheries, because the world's fisheries have declined since the mid-'80s. More and more boats going out, bringing back fewer and fewer fish, because we are literally fishing out our oceans. There's fish come back when you do the right thing. So we've learned what to do. We work with fishermen. We let science lead the way, and depending on where you are in the world, fish are starting to come back. New England cod, right? That's an example of what happens when you don't fish sustainably. So anyway, it's a big part of my life. When I'm not acting, I'm running around. I'm not the expert. I usually stand next to a marine biologist and say, hi, thank you for watching Cheers. Please meet, Sally, who's an amazing marine biologist, because some important stuff's going on. And just the headline, why this should, because when you talk about fish, you put people to sleep like that. I see a couple in the back row. But when you talk about feeding the world, that's a different conversation. And if you were to do all of the top 25 countries that produce the most fish in the world, if you had them all, help them, work with them to manage their fisheries sustainably, you could provide, and this is fact, science, about 1 billion, if you could quantify landed fish this way, you could feed 1 billion people a fish meal every day forever. That's huge. At a time when we're about to, go up to what, 9 billion people on the planet, and whenever somebody comes out of poverty in country, around the world, what they want is animal protein to bolster their diet. So the demand for animal protein is going to go up and up and up. So that's the reason why you focus on oceans and, you cut down fewer forests. I can go on for an hour about this. But anyway, go to oceana.org.
Your book is great. Your book is great, and I commend you on the work you're doing. And I please encourage you to go on to oceana.org and check it out, please. We all need to take part in
Or
this.
Cheers, either one.
Or Cheers, one or the other. Yeah, speaking of Cheers, any other question? We have a question? No, you already have one. I'm going to go to someone else. There you go, sir. Yeah. Sir.
Can you just talk about how you got the role in Cheers?
How you got the role in Cheers.
Sure.
Sam Malone.
Jimmy Burrows, you'll see his name up there with Les and Glenn Charles and Jimmy Burrows. It was the director of almost all of the episodes and one of the co-creators. And he had seen me audition for something that he was directing, and I didn't get it. And then about a year later, I was doing an episode of Taxi on the Paramount lot, and Les and Glenn Charles, the writers, and Jimmy asked me if I'd come in and meet with them. I did, and I read, and this and that, and then they said about the second time I saw them, don't take any other jobs before letting us know. And I went, oh. So, are you saying this is mine? No, it's not, but just don't take. And as I went out that door, the back end of the office, I looked down the hallway, and it was like every actor in Hollywood was filing up to see them. It was one of the first times I didn't doubt myself. Usually you kind of self-destruct and go, I'm not going to, probably not. I didn't. I just kind of felt in my heart that this was probably going to happen. And then this was the weird part, they had 3 couples, and they paired me up with Shelley Long, and Shelley Long was Diane Chambers. She was brilliant. She really put Cheers on the map the first couple of years. And we paired up together, and we had this kind of audition off where there was a crowd like almost as big as you of Network and Paramount and people, and they built a little fake bar, and these 3 couples would come down one at a time and do a scene and then go back. And anyway, I'm convinced I got it because I got paired with Shelley Long. So.
And you went to bartender school.
I went to bartender school. Man, I was terrified I wasn't going to pass, and I did. I didn't get to the cash register part. I would have flunked if, to do drinks. But anyway, I realized about a month into Cheers, and I was making daiquiris and Manhattans and everything, and then I realized they're shooting above my hands. They don't care what I'm doing. They want jokes good. They don't want good pretend drinks. So I started washing shot glasses and pulling beers for the rest of my time.
That's funny. What were you really drinking on set? Was it beer?
It was. Did you all see George Wendt out there today? Yeah. It was called Near Beer. It's like awful flat. It's like flat 4-day-old beer taste-wise with no alcohol until the audience left, and then it was real beer for those beer drinkers. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. And then you switched gears and you went on to CSI, which was a great role for you. That was fantastic. Yeah. Loved it.
Yeah.
3 Men and a Baby, fantastic movie. Save it. Oh.
Hi. Yeah. CSI. What? My world makes no sense. CSI. Hi, T.
Hey, bud. Ask him something embarrassing. Go ahead.
Well, this is a pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
I don't need to I'll stay. Thank you, though.
Oh, yeah.
Why don't we do a couple questions? And honest, George, your timing is impeccable because we only have a couple minutes left. But why don't we do a couple questions for these boys?
Perfect.
Anyone? Don't be shy. Now's your time. All right, real loud at the back. Stand up. I'll leave you to shout real loud. How do you keep it fresh?
Yeah, well, sheesh, it was pretty easy. They came in so strongly. Woody and Kelsey and Kirsty. We just sat back and watched the fun. Frankly, our writers are extremely clever, and it was easy peasy, I would say.
Yeah. One of the ways to keep it fresh was also to not learn your lines. That's true. That's what. There you are. I mean, literally, it got to the point where we were fairly spoiled by the success, and Woody all of a sudden wouldn't be at rehearsal for 3 days, and it's a 5-day process because he had to go to Berlin because the wall was coming down and he couldn't miss it, and this is true, and that would piss off John Ratzenberger, who would then go, all right, well, if he's going to be there, I'm going to go up and harvest my apples in Seattle. So most of the rehearsals had people stage hands with scripts in their, reading with whatever actors were left. So it was fresh out of necessity,
And but I do, I like to mess with people, and as you probably recall, I sat right next to the waitress station, and so there was these cocktail napkins and these cocktail straws, and I used to just bombard people with spitballs the whole time, and
on camera.
Yeah, especially if Woody had like a paragraph or something. If you freeze frame, you can see like spitballs dinging off his forehead.
Literally the truth.
But my crowning moment was Ted opened his mouth, and I saw it, and I zenned it, and I hit him right on the uvula. Way in the back. I mean, you nearly threw up. It was like...
and that's when I quit and went to CSI.
All right, we'll do one more, and then I got to get these guys back to meeting you guys and signing. Sir?
I just wanted to know what's your favorite memory, which is either on screen or off screen?
You.
Hey, jeez. I remember great jokes, and they're both Woody jokes. We were jumping out of an airplane. We were skydiving, and we all chickened out to a man. We all chickened out. Well, we can't tell anybody at the bar that we chickened out, and we got to come up with a story, and we got to be able to stick to it. So it's got to be simple and believable. And Sam goes, right, I got it. We jumped, the parachutes opened, and we landed. Simple, it's believable. And so we go back to the bar and we're like, woo, oh man, I never felt so alive. We gotta do this again. Oh really, what happened? Oh, it was great, are you kidding? And Carla corners Woody, what happened? And he goes, what? We jumped, the parachutes opened, and we landed. It was all very simple and believable. And then my other favorite Woody joke was the bar wars. They kidnapped Woody, Gary's Old Town Tavern, kidnapped Woody, and we're all worried, and what are we going to do? And then we see Woody being lowered. He was bound at the hands and feet, and he was lowered upside down the stairs. And we see him just dangling there. And, oh my God, and he had gaffer tape on his mouth. And so we're like, oh my God, Woody, are you okay? He's like, and we're like, oh my God, he's trying to tell us something. And so we would take the tape off. He's like, don't take the tape off.
Ted, any final words before we wrap?
No, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thanks for watching all the way to the end. You can subscribe here to subscribe to the channel. There's more videos off to the left. Mr. J says, don't forget to ring that bell button for more notifications.